Hey y'all, it's a great day in my local Flavor Kitchen right here in beautiful Branson, Missouri. And today we are gonna make the best chocolate chip cookies ever. Here we go. Okay, so we have our oven preheated to 350 degrees and you're gonna start off with 2 cups of softened butter. Now, you can also melt your butter if you'd like, but it will make your cookies a little bit flatter and a little bit crispier if your butter starts off melted. So I just like it softened. And I usually start off with a potato masher. All right, so to our softened butter, we're gonna add 2 cups of brown sugar, 1.5 cups of white sugar. We're gonna do 4 eggs at room temperature. 4 room temperature eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to commence to whipping this up. And I like to use a potato masher. You can use a mixer, a hand mixer if you'd like, but I have always done it this way. I have no idea why. Don't ask me why, I've just always done it this way. I just found this is just my way to do it. That's just, I mean, if I can keep from dragging anything out, you better believe it, I'm gonna keep from dragging it out. And I'm gonna go old school or the hard way every time. I don't like to drag a bunch of cooking stuff out. All right, so you got this all mixed up really good. Now we're gonna make our flour mixture, okay? So let me set this aside. Okay, so you're gonna start off with 5 cups of flour, but you're gonna take out 2 tablespoons of flour for each cup. So you can go through and do it, it equals 2/3 cup of flour. So you're gonna take out 2/3 cups of flour. But if you half this recipe, just know that you're gonna take off 2 tablespoons of flour for each cup you put in. So there's gonna be 10 tablespoons, which equals right about 2/3 cups of flour. So you just take that and put it right back into your flour. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna replace it with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to the flour, all right? And we already know that it's 2/3, so that's all we have to come up with is 2/3. 2/3 of, I can't talk. 2/3 of cornstarch. Make sure you've got that, and then go ahead and take that, put it in your flour. So we've got that in there. We've got our cornstarch in that replaced the 2 tablespoons per cup of flour. I don't want to confuse anybody, but you're just gonna take a little bit of flour out and put a little bit of cornstarch in. You're taking out 2 tablespoons of flour per cup. So if you half this recipe, you can figure it out. I'm so sorry. Just make it like I make it. Just make it like this. Just make it with 5 cups. Don't half anything, just do it this way. Now we're gonna add in 2 teaspoons of soda and a pinch of salt. And I already have that measured out. 2 teaspoons of baking soda, all right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a good mix. Whisk it up really good. Okay, so when I said you're taking the 2/3 cups flour out and put it back into your flour, I meant put it back into your flour container, not back into your flour bowl. I know this is becoming very confusing all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on with me today and why I'm explaining so much, because usually I'm not like this. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, here we have our wet ingredients all mixed up. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our flour mixture. I like to take a little sifter like this, or you can get an old-timey sifter, whatever you'd like. Ooh, and try to pour it in there as good as you can. And then just kind of shake it in there. And then set this aside and mix. Get it mixed in good, just like that. Once that gets mixed in, we're gonna do another round. When I was in grade school, my friend Sherry Mann, I used to walk home. She walked home, we kind of took the same path home. And I would kind of stop off at her house sometimes after school, and her mom, Judy, always had chocolate chip cookies baked and ready. And listen, they were the best chocolate chip cookies ever. I would just eat those up. I'm sure Judy hated to see me coming because I would eat all of their chocolate chip cookies up. They were the best cookies I ever had in my life. And so now I'm going to give you my chocolate chip recipe, and I think you're gonna love them. Now, why do we do the cornstarch? Why do we replace the cornstarch? You know, I'm not real sure. I heard it from a gal one time who said it made your cookies chewier. She had a bakery, and she said if you would put a little cornstarch in your flour, that it would make your cookies stay chewier longer. Now, I like my cookies almost raw because I love cookie dough. So if you like your cookies a little bit crispier, you're gonna have to cook them a little longer than what I do. But this is just a little secret that I learned, and then I've tried to perfect this recipe. And, you know, I've made it with lots of different things. I've made it with the semi-sweet chocolate chips, and I have found also that these are the best. These are the best. So good. Milk chocolate Ghirardelli chocolate chips. Oh my gosh. So, we're getting, whew, it's starting to get tough now. I'm starting to break a sweat, so we know we're getting close. Okay, so it is pretty much mixed up. Still got a little bit to go, but right now I'm gonna add my vanilla. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of vanilla. And then putting this wet in here will help me to get the rest of it mixed up, because it's starting to get kind of tough to mix on. But like I said, that's where the love comes from. Can you feel the love tonight? Oh yeah. So we're gonna get this vanilla mixed in real good. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Look. All right, now we're gonna add in this big bag of chocolate chips, which is 1 pound, or you can do 2 packages. I like lots of chocolate chips in mine, so that's what we're gonna do. So, if you don't like that many chocolate chips, just use 1 bag. We're gonna use the pound, a whole pound. If I had another bag, I'd probably put it in there too, because I love it to be full of chocolate chips. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. That looks good enough to eat. I love chocolate chip cookie dough. When I was a teenager, I worked at Thrifty Foods. That was one of my first jobs. And when I got my first paycheck, you know, the first thing I bought was a roll of Nestle chocolate chip cookie dough. Or no, Toll House. Is that the same? I don't know. Anyway, I love chocolate chip cookie dough. So that was the first thing I bought with my first paycheck, was some chocolate chip cookie dough. Ate it like a candy bar. That's why I look the way I do. Anyway, I'm gonna use parchment paper on my cookie sheet here. And here's another thing that I've learned, that you don't load it down with a bunch of cookies. You just want to put like maybe 6 cookies on here and give them room to bake, because when you crowd them up, it just doesn't do good. This will give them a lot of room to bake. So I like to use a little scoop. I got a tiny scoop here. So if you want to put your dough in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes and get it chilled, that you can do that as well. But I am excited to have these. I'm so excited. Let me scoop that over. I'm only going to bake 6 cookies at a time. So if you want to do, I probably should get another cookie sheet and do some more. So because I just think that they cook better when you do them spread apart like that. So I'm going to pop them in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. This batch will make about 40 cookies. It depends on how big you make them. So you can half this, put it in the freezer, and save it for another time. Now my batches usually don't make that many cookies because I can't stay out of the dough. But, Okay, here they are, right out of the oven. Now, remember, if you want them a little not so flat, put them in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or so and get your dough good and chilled, and then they'll not bake out so flat. But for my next trick, this is a secret that I learned. So this is an old Pepsi cup, so old that the Pepsi's off of it, but it's about the right size that I want, because while these are still hot, I'm going to just kind of push my cup around the edges here, just like that. And then I'm just going to do this. Get it in there and just circle it around and around and around. Just like that. And it makes the perfect little cookie. So I'm going to do this with all of these. and just kind of walk it around the edges there, and then just shake it around and around in a circle, just like that. And I'm gonna do each one of these and try to make them as pretty as I can. Once I get these all circled up after I use my cup on them, then I'm gonna put them onto a baking rack. Here's our first 6 cookies. Oh my goodness. Do those not look absolutely delicious? So there you have it. There are some of my cookies. I'm baking some more right now. I mean, mine aren't as beautiful and as perfect as most people's cookies. Mine have more of a rustic look to them. I do like to make those little circles though, make them kind of more round looking and a little more uniform, but mine kind of have a little bit of a, you know, they kind of stick up a little bit on the side. But I don't care because these are delicious and I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And they're gonna go very well with this 09 milk. They're gonna pair very well with that. So, oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at that chocolate chip. Y'all, go make these cookies. There's some more. They're ready. Cheers.